Right.
10 million fewer Democrats voted in 2024 than voted in 2020. So it's true. They do not vote. Let's take this up to 2016, where you had a very strong libertarian ticket with Gary Johnson, the former two-term governor of New Mexico, who ran with Bill Weld, the former two-term governor of Massachusetts. Very strong, obviously strong executive experience. They were a good team. They were an attractive team. And on the Green side, you had Jill Stein, a physician, and very smart physician, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And frankly, it was, stay with me here, kids. I've spoken about this before. The Hillary Clinton campaign is the one that went after both those candidates, tooth and tongue. Gary Johnson was doing an interview.
But the Hillary campaign went after Jill a lot more.
Went after them both. It was the Hillary campaign that made hay out of Gary Johnson when he was doing the interview. And a reporter was asking, it was like his 15th interview of the day, said, "What about Aleppo?" And Gary Johnson said, "What about it? What is that?" He had a mind fart. He had a brain fart. How many times did Trump and or Hillary fuck up in a single day? This was one screw up, and they blew it way out in the national media.
Yeah, when you challenge the system, Scott, the standards are much higher for you. Of course, it should be the opposite. The people who are in the system and running it, the standard for them ought to be the highest, but it's not. Which is why Howard Dean has a mic malfunction, literally, and suddenly he's a lunatic.
That was not a good moment for him. And don't forget, he also had just come in third.
It was a mic malfunction, though.
What does that mean? What is he have a stutter, Ted?
He literally said, like, in the mic, like, woo, and it came out like, woo! Like the volume was way up. Yeah.
No, he wooed. It doesn't. And he came in third in the Iowa caucus when everyone thought he'd come in first. So he was also, there's that. But in 2016, the Hillary campaign goes after Gary Johnson, gets their minions in the mainstream media to put that in heavy rotation, make him look like an idiot. Because Gary Johnson, why is that important? Gary Johnson was polling at around 15%, which would have meant he would have been on the debate stage. Now, could you imagine a debate stage in 2016 that has Hillary Clinton in all of her charm? You have Donald Trump in all of his charm. And then you have had Gary Johnson and Jill Stein.
Well, it would have offered some choice, which would be nice to have if you pretend to have a democracy. Might be nice to have some choice.
Pshaw. So that brings us all the way up to today. I believe did we miss any of the third parties, Ted?
Well, we probably missed, we did skip over Gus Hall and the Communist Party. There's a bunch of other ones like the Socialist Workers Party.
Oh, they've been around, but aren't really significant.
They were around. They were very active in the 60s and 70s and 80s.
Right.
And there was the Revolutionary Communist Party of Bob Avakian. That's kind of a cult. But hey, you asked to mention them.
No. But I'm saying, how many of them were actually viable? There's
also that guy who ran in, was it 32 or 36? Lenke, like Lehke, ran as an independent. It was called like something like generic, like he was a business person. Like it was like the Independent Party or something like that.
There's always been iterations, but the ones that I just ran through all of these, and I'm sorry to bore people, but I just ran through all these.
I think it's important to understand,
that we've had third parties, but only occasionally have they actually been, I think Ross Perot is the most analogous to what Elon Musk is talking about. He'll put a crap ton of money forward.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Will they have, how many down ticket candidates will they put forward? That's another thing. Would you run as an America Party candidate, Ted?
Well, I mean, there's no policies, right? So
yes, it's America.
I'm all about the policies. So if I can run on my policies, sure. Why not?
These won't be your policies. I guarantee it. These will be centrist, bullshittery, mamby-pamby. Everyone says in poll after poll that they want more centrist candidates, but they don't fucking elect them. They don't get them through the primaries.
They don't support them. Bullshit. The truth, look, Scott, it's very clear. There's no center anymore. I mean, look, where's the biggest pools of disenfranchised voters? Donald Trump proved where part of them were. he brought in tens of millions of people on the far right who had never voted before into the Republican Party and used them to do a hostile takeover of the GOP. On the left, Bernie Sanders showed that there are tens of millions of disenfranchised non-voters who will vote for you for the first time, albeit not in enough numbers, especially if it's hard and Hillary Clinton's giving you a hard time. But the point is, they're there. And that's where, if you're just after the voters and the numbers, if that's your purpose, your voters are on the far left and on the far right. They're populists. I think if I was starting, my advice to Elon would be, forget the America Party, rename it the Populist Party, invite all comers left and right, set aside any kind of differences that you have between the left and the right, and agree on stuff that the far left and the far right agree on. For example, the far left has always wanted strong immigration policies because it protects American workers. Far right agrees with that. That's something they can get on board with. The far left and the far right have always agreed on protections for working class salaries, training programs, and stuff like that for workers. Something that they can all agree on. There's definitely space here for the populist left and the populist right to do some shit together. Anti-interventionism overseas, that America doesn't do dumb wars or militarism unless it absolutely has to defend itself. Nothing optional. Like, oh, it's very sad what's happening to the Moldovans, but they're on their own. It's very happy what's happening to the poor people of Eritrea, but that's on them. The far left and the far right agree on this. And so, no interventionism. So there's a lot of, that would be where I'd go.
I agree. I couldn't agree more, Ted. You're absolutely right. I mean, you already have a populist right party in the GOP. So you're not going to, take votes away from there. People say a lot of stuff, the poll on X, for Christ's sake, really, that's what you're basing this on?
Yeah.
So
which, by the way, you would expect better results if you were him. It was 2 out of 3 said yes. I'm like, you own the thing.
You can make the arguments.
Yeah. On Rall.com, I can do more than 2 out of 3.
They're going to roll this out. Clearly, my suspicion is this is designed to be a spoiler for the Republicans.
Yes, this seems like 1912. This is a spite party.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, Donald Trump, fuck you.
And it's expensive to start a party. Billionaires like to keep most of their money. So
that's
and
true.
Elon Musk, don't forget, Elon Musk cannot run for president because he's not a Native American. So
that's what I was going to bring up. This is, I think, a really key part. So I have my ideas of so first of all, there is a structural problem for third parties running for president, right? Which is you have to have half the electoral votes in order to win, right? These days you need 270 to become president. Scott, so let's just say for the sake of argument, hell, I can go nuts. Let's say that you run for president as an independent on the America Party, and you get 260 electoral votes. And then the other 2 parties split the remainder, right? The Democrats and the Republicans. You've won by a landslide. It's a plurality by far and away. You should be president of the United States, but you won't be, because in our system you have to have 270, and it'll go to the House of Representatives, and the House of Representatives, currently controlled by the GOP, after next year probably controlled by the Democrats, is going to vote for their party. And they're not going to care about the will of the people. So basically, a third party can't elect a president, no matter what, really. And so, 99.9% of the time. So so really, it seems to me that the key here is don't run for president, or run for president, but also the main thing is focus on grassroots. Run someone in every county commission job, every city council job, every school board position. 2 out of 3, as you know, Scott, 2 out of 3 elected officials in this country run unopposed in every election.
That's
every
crazy.
election.
That's crazy.
So those people, you find someone to run for those. Elon, you pick up the bill. You pay for the posters, you pay for the petitions, you pay for the ballot challenges. you keep them on the ballot, you'll get some of those people elected. Some of them will get elected, especially if you choose your candidates well. And there are a lot of people who will just vote, as we saw with Mamdani. Nobody knew who Mamdani was. It was a spite vote by New Yorkers. We just didn't want Cuomo, and we didn't want Adams, and that was it. So we voted for we voted for the Muslim dude. That's what happened. A lot of people will do that all over the country because they're sick and tired of one party rule, either by the D's or by the R's. So you start at the local level and Congress and the Senate, and you can run a president. But if you only run for the president, you're going to fucking lose every fucking time, and you're going to waste billions of dollars. And what's the point?
No, absolutely.
That's the big mistake, right? They all focus on the presidency. Very few third parties, if any, in this country have ever truly been a national party. Has there ever been one?
Well, I would argue that the Libertarian Party works hard to get on the ballots. They certainly do down here. And I know a number of states.
There was no Libertarian candidate for mayor.
Well, see, that's a problem. And you have
it's
to
not
find,
like in 8 million people, you should be able to find one, right?
Yeah, you would think. You're absolutely right, Ted. That's the way you build this party. And you build excitement. You know, gee whiz, we have 3 congressmen, you know.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, that's not nothing considering how hard,
especially what's probably coming up. You're absolutely right. But my point is that you do that, you say, okay, they actually have, you know, the Socialist Party has not gone crazy with Bernie, for instance, saying we had a socialist in the U.S. Senate. They did not glom onto that and celebrate that. The Libertarians, if they'd won a congressional seat or won a Senate seat, oh my God, they'd go bananas. You have to have that presence and that consistency. You know, the Republican Party we talked about in 1856. Yeah, they run Fremont, but they also had down ticket. And they damn near took the House. They damn near took the Senate.
By the way, Fremont ran again in 1864.
Against the Republican
against Lincoln and McClellan.
As what?
As a third party, the Free Soil Party.
Okay. Yeah, he was kind of kooky. That was kind of the knock, that he was kind of a kook, and that was kind of kooky.
But also he was kind of a cool dude too. So yeah.
But a great beard. Let's face it.
No, back then a lot of them did. And McClellan, holy crap, that's a beard.
McClellan didn't have a beard. No, he had a mustache. He had a mustache and a soul patch.
Yeah, that's a beard.
Okay.
Look at us. Who are we to be beard splaining?
Oh, but did you hear the latest on mustaches now? These wimpy little barely pubescent boy mustaches are a thing now.
No,
I'm not kidding. So I'm just saying, like, I've seen you can grow facial. I've seen Ted's beard when he traveled to the Middle East.
We're both capable.
I don't have the mustache. I haven't grown it in a while, but I could definitely have the beard.
I was surprised. I didn't know I had it in me, but yeah.
You do, man. It's manly. And you're like Iman. You're like Ayatollah Ted.
Oh man. I mean, I will say, when I got my beard trimmed in Herat, which is right on the Iranian border, and Afghanistan is very influenced by the countries around it, not just the ones that invade it. And although the Iranians have invaded it, that's not like out of the question. Anyway, they gave me a really beautiful Iranian trimmed beard, and it was, I think it's the best I've ever looked, for sure.
Why don't you have a beard now?
It's itchy and scratchy, man.
Yeah, I know. I don't like the feel, and Janine won't kiss me. So, kissing beard.
Don't do that. No, you can't go kissless.
No, no, kissless existence is no existence at all.
That's true.